Hello everyone, welcome to the Town Manager Download, a podcast about local government in the town of Shrewsbury. In today's podcast, we'll be reviewing the May 2023 annual town meeting and some current events that have happened in town. I'm Kevin Mizikar, the Town Manager of the town of Shrewsbury, and as always, I'm joined by Communications Coordinator Taylor Galusha. How's everything going, Taylor?
Good. This is like the Monday of Mondays.
The Monday of Mondays.
This is Monday of Mondays.
What makes today the Monday of Mondays?
Well, I'm dealing with post-concert sadness after seeing Taylor Swift yesterday. And
Was it a bad concert? That's why you're sad?
No.
No.
I'm sad because it's over.
Oh, okay, got it.
But I could be sad because I got stuck in the parking lot for 2 hours and I didn't get home till 3 a.m.
Oh.
So a very, very rough Monday for me.
I see that. That does make it the Monday of Mondays.
Monday of Mondays.
Are you sad you missed the rain show?
Maybe retrospectively I'll be sad about it, but probably in the moment I'm not that sad that I missed it. It was
good.
Monsooning, so
Yeah.
I'm good. I got a good show, so
Oh, I thought you were
I'm
going to
good.
say I bought a jar of rain.
On
Did you do
eBay.
that?
No,
No,
I can be responsible with my money sometimes. This is one of those instances.
that's good.
I don't know if the cheeseburgers at Gillette Stadium are just like the best cheeseburgers I've ever had in my life, or if I was just very hungry. But I will say that the food was good.
Well, that's good to know. Shout out to the concession staff at Gillette.
Yeah.
Good.
My sister graduated from college on Sunday too, so I went to her graduation in the morning, and then
Wow.
I
Full
left
day.
the graduation and went to Taylor Swift. So
That's great.
congrats to Katie. And
Did you enjoy the concert?
Did I enjoy the concert?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
fun.
good.
I had a good time. I went by myself, which is like that was
Interesting.
very hard for me,
Yeah,
but it was good. Everyone was nice. So.
that's good. Good. I did not have that type of Sunday,
No,
so Monday was easier for me to get up.
congratulations.
Yeah. I made it to work on time, just like you did.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No. Yep. Pretty quiet weekend for us. I've had a little porch project going on. I have a wooden porch floor and it rotted in a couple areas, so I had to take on a project that I wasn't really
Replacing
excited about,
boards.
replacing it, but we got it done, moved beyond, and hopefully it lasts.
Ready for the summer.
That's right. Yep. Weather's been pretty nice, so get all those things behind me in the spring and then enjoy the summer when it finally gets here officially. So
Did Alexa get her car?
she did. She got a car. Now we're waiting on the official license, which the test is supposed to be this coming weekend. And then still trying to track down that first job.
Yep.
So, but she's
Good
working
stuff.
hard at it. So that's all we can ask. It's not as easy as some people say it is.
No, it's not. My dog turned 16 on
16.
on Thursday. This is like one of those moments I wish I could just like project a picture up because my dad made her like a sign that like said Sweet 16 on it. But
Nice.
big milestone.
Definitely.
For a lab.
An
Your
unheard of
lab,
milestone.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So she had a good day.
That's good. Well, happy birthday, Brady. So I guess that moves us into what's up in the Shrew and things going on around town. What's up on the
Yeah.
communications side of things? A lot of things on the
Oh,
horizon.
yeah. Well, a lot of things going on now, and then we're getting closer and closer on that newsletter. So we updated the From the Desk of the Select Board, which used to be a newsletter, but now it's a like short form video update. And I include like all of the text from the video in whatever posting it is. So if people still just want to read through at their own pace, they can do that. But there's also the summary video, which I think it's been received well. Post it the morning after the meeting or soon after that day. So
We're not on TikTok, but is
we're not on TikTok, but I would say it's akin to TikTok. Like if we were on TikTok, it would
We'd be
be
cool.
we would be a TikTok, and if we ever go on Instagram, it would definitely be a reel. So
Got it.
we're modern now.
We're cruising, heading in the direction.
Yeah, and then we got to debut our Stay Connected Shrewsbury like brochure at town meeting, which was exciting. Kind of more of a impromptu idea on our part, you and I. And that'll kind of be more of a monthly iteration that we push out to residents in town hall. We'll make it available online.
Yep.
All the good stuff.
So we're doing everything from
Weekly.
appetizers to
Yeah.
entrees to buffets.
It's kind of it's kind of the it's kind of the idea, like
Yep.
to be able to. I think certain events require certain urgency, and other news we can take our time with it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So trying to like cater to all those different. To continue on the food jokes, we'll cater to all those different needs of the town, but and the residents. So I'm excited. I feel like we kind of just had like an explosion of information the last like month. So
Yeah, two of those things over the
feel
last
good.
two of the things over the last month was the 2 surveys, multimodal and climate action plan. Where are those at? They still available?
They'll be closing, or the multimodal study will be closing at the end of May. And then climate action survey will be mid-June. So people still have time to go online and fill those out. shrewsburyma.gov/all-in Shrewsbury for the climate survey, and then shrewsburyma.gov/multimodal study for the transportation one. So
I'll go back to one personal thing because
circle back.
Circling back then. So I've been talking about Alexa and her car, but I'll give a shout out to Ella because she got student of the month for the second time. So once in 7th grade, once in 8th grade. So 4 more years to hit that requirement.
Yeah, she set the standard.
That's right.
You gotta stick with it.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Shout out
congrats
Ella.
to her. Yep. All right. So we wanted to get back together on today's episode to talk about our perception of the annual town meeting.
Yep.
And just go back through that, put a bow on it. We've already started thinking about the fall town meeting. We know we'll need that. The state budget is still in progress, and we're never going to be perfect on those figures, so we'll make those financial adjustments in the fall. But before we get there and head into the summer months, it's good to recap and go through everything for this meeting. So what were your first impressions, Taylor?
Twofold. I was happy that we were able to do Monday, Tuesday, like the town meeting members wanted in the survey. And then I just enjoyed town meeting, kind of the social aspect of it too, getting together with everybody, being in the same room, familiar faces or a lot of new faces, which is equally as exciting. Getting to talk with different town volunteers before and after the meeting.
Yep.
I think it's just like a good environment. I got to debut the new haircut. It was so super fun. So.
Did you get the haircut for town meeting?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nice.
No, had to be
great.
my best self.
Yep.
What about you?
I cut my hair yesterday.
Oh, so you missed it.
Yeah, I missed it. Yeah. So I'll work on that for next year.
Got a plan.
I got to plan better. It's a pretty regular cycle in my house, so, I'll fix it next year. So no, there's a few specific articles that I was focused on going into the meeting, which we talked about. But I think my overarching effort, regardless of whether items passed or didn't pass, although it's kind of critical that most do, was that we provided information that I felt met our own expectations. I don't think we did that. We, the collective leadership team, did that at the fall town meeting. And that hits home really hard with me whenever I think we could do something better. So we focused on that. We've been talking about it for months about how we can prepare better. We did a lot of prep work with town staff. We resituated where they sit within the meeting and who had to be there. And while I recognize that I still answered most of the questions and provided most of the summaries, I think all the work of the collective staff who brought all that information together did a really good job. Like, most of those words weren't mine. I was kind of mimicking, parroting what, staff had briefed me on and got me up to speed to do for the town meeting. So I felt that we met that mark, and I'm very happy about that because that's a trust issue for me.
Yeah.
I want town meeting to to trust that we're working on their behalf and providing them with as much information as possible. It's their job to vote on the articles in consideration of that. So if we don't do our job in getting them the information, we're putting them at a disadvantage. I never, ever want them to feel that way because, we serve the legislative body just like we do the executive. So I hope that was also evident in my response to one of the questions where a town meeting member asked if town meeting should grant additional discretionary authority, like a percentage range or something on the CPA articles. And I said no, it's really important for me that town meeting retains their authority. So I'd never want to lead them astray. And I think we really did a much better job. I think you and I probably both have a list front and back of things that we could still do better, that we want to work on and we will work on. Some of those are meeting logistics and how we handle things at the meeting. And then there's things before the meeting that I know that we're both focused on doing better. The materials, we certainly have to mail everything out, but we've been talking, of course, about how we can get electronic materials that are attractive and engaging, and people can dive as deep into that hole that they want about a particular topic. So we'll be working on that.
Yeah, both of our brains, whether it's select board meetings, staff meetings, or town meeting, during, before, and after, they're just rolling with different things we could have done different or better. And I think that's why we are lucky that we have so many different public meetings throughout the year, because I think we just keep learning how we can communicate and do better. So, so important.
Yep. And we'll definitely keep doing that. Obviously, a lot of visual items that can be enhanced at the meeting. Yeah. And then
it's like a setup obstacle right now.
Right.
The projector at Oak Middle. So
we may need to make some investments in the space, or just a couple other things that we'll work through with the moderator and how he sees the meetings rolling forward. But we can talk about that as we roll through some of the other warrant articles. So we won't rehash all of town meeting again, but I wanted to provide some highlights on some of the articles. Starting with Article 4, I was just most appreciative of the passage of that article to the benefit of Ava Roy, whose father was killed fighting a fire in Worcester. I know Ava's grandparents were at town meeting. They're not town meeting members, but they came and attended and were sent a note of appreciation after the event. So I'll extend that to all town meeting members. So it's a privilege to be able to do that for them. And then, I'll say really broadly, after going specific, is that, with the exception of the citizens petition, which was ruled out of order, there are 53 articles for town meeting to consider, and town meeting passed all 53 of them. So again, after getting town meeting the information that we think is sufficient for them to make the most informed decision as possible, I'm elated that all 53 articles passed, because there's a lot of work that goes into that. Some of those are policy and discretionary and investments that town meeting members need to make. We often, if not always, are really vested in the passage of them, and to have all 53 of them pass is just a good feeling that we were able to convey our message and the need for those throughout the course of the meeting. But so to kind of wrap that into, all the main operating budgets were passed without modification, and that includes the general operating budget and the utility operating budgets, and then funding of those traditional items like funding for Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services and moving funds for our roadway improvement program and things like that. And we spent some time talking about the operating budget. The school committee did a presentation on their section and highlighted some of their current challenges when it comes to, again, vocational tuition, like they talked about last fall, and that certainly is going to be an ongoing conversation for the community to have, how we handle that type of educational services. But I think the budget articles wrapped up with some questions and a resounding approval to move forward in the direction that we wanted to do, which of course we started with the strategic plan this year as our starting point for that. So very happy about those warrant
Do you want to
articles.
touch on the water rate article?
Yeah,
Or not water rate article,
Yep.
but the water enterprise account?
yeah. So whenever we set forth the capital improvement plan for water this year, we really took a different direction, which
Yeah.
we've talked about here, and we moved from requesting town meeting members fund the article to make capital improvements on a cash basis to a debt-funded basis. That was really because of the complexity of the current investments that we need to make and the cost of those regular capital investments like replacing water mains and pumps and things like that, significant valves, water meters. So this is the first time we've ever asked town meeting to provide a general borrowing authorization to fund, in this case, $12 million to make capital improvements for the water system. So that was really the scope the town meeting approved to us. And of course, we can convey what those investments are more than likely to be, and the vast majority will be because we've done that work. But
Yeah.
I was really happy to feel that we were able to convey that message and how it benefits the ratepayers and how we won't have to spike the water rates in order to
Right.
continue to make that investment. You never want to be that community that's having issues with drinking water and not meeting those minimum standards because, turn off the water in your home and realize how many times you need it it's just amazing, from showers to so many simple
Cooking,
things.
yeah.
Cooking, life becomes a huge challenge. So getting these funds means that we'll continue to be able to make those investments and begin to design for the treatment and removal of PFAS within our drinking water system, which is an important next step for that contaminant that almost every community in the country is facing.
Right.
So that was a great opportunity to transform how we make investments into our water system.
And the cemetery expansion was approved
Yes.
as well, which is another big
Yep.
article for us.
Yep.
Like we said, lots of new stuff we did this year at town meeting.
Right. Yeah. I felt that there was some confusion, which always looking to do better on how we are tying Articles 32 and 33 together, and how the affirming vote through Article 32 is reflective of the funding investment that we made
Right.
in Article. So 33 was
Affirming
32. Right. Yeah. So I was a little disappointed that seemed confusing and folks didn't quite grasp that. But the concept behind those two articles, if town meeting was willing to invest $4.3 million in the expansion of the cemetery,
Right.
let's go ahead and make all formal necessary land designations in the following article. If they weren't willing to expand it, then let's not do that, and let's
Right.
provide maximum flexibility
Right.
moving
And
forward.
Article 33 was the responsiveness of us
Right.
to the community for wanting to kind of preserve and protect the area of Prospect Park that is most heavily used
Yep.
right now.
Yeah, and I guess, on a more devious side, Article 33 could have been viewed by someone trying to prevent Article 32 from happening as like a back door, but that that didn't enter my mind because, it was always given the community the opportunity to make the dollar investment first.
Right.
And then once the dollar investment made, which I think was the harder question to answer, then let's go ahead and set aside the land for future use as was consistent with that dollar investment
Right.
and what residents had said to us about maintaining parkland and open space for the community. So I think that was a little sticky point
Yep.
at town meeting. But and then we wrapped up the first night with the following article, Article 34, and that really set us up in a good spot. We had 20 articles to go for the second night, which again continued the following night on Tuesday and moved us into CPA.
Yep.
So the CPA articles, there's a lot of questions associated with them. And I think if there's one area that we can be better prepared to provide more information both before the meeting and during the meeting, it's CPA,
Yeah,
right?
that was one of the ones I noted in my running list of like how can we set that up
Yep.
better just to refresh everyone. So the acronyms maybe can sometimes
Yeah.
be sticky.
Yep.
The CPA, CPC.
Right.
I could go on,
Yeah,
but I won't.
yeah. No, and it's true, but like I felt like there was like generalized questions that people felt they needed to get on the table, and then we got into specific projects, and those questions ironed themselves out.
Right.
But if we could restructure it to
Yeah.
hit the general stuff
In the
first,
beginning.
yep,
And then move, like
right.
almost like a presentation at the beginning, kind of overviewing the committee and the process,
Correct.
and then
Yep.
go into each project.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't know, I guess looking back on it, I assumed a lot of folks may have been paying attention to the CPC during their public hearing process and maybe have engaged in that process. But again, we'll take that as a note. Very pleased that we were able to convey the information that we wanted to support the recommendations of the Community Preservation Committee to get these projects funded. And that included, of course, Article 45, 44 and 45, which was a land acquisition for property along Lake and Grove Streets for further open space preservation and maybe some trail development in the future. So with all those articles, really from 35 through 45, took probably 90 minutes, a little more than 90 minutes to get through. And I think not everything is based on time, but just that confusion we don't want town meeting members to have, so we can do that a little bit better. But these are all really exciting projects to be able to take on and have this source of funding that hadn't been available to us past.
Right.
And that was part of the conversation, like how would these have been funded in the past?
They
wouldn't have been, right? Yeah. We just
I
wouldn't
think
have
it's
had that
just like a
opportunity.
neat process too, because it's like a lot of the projects are either community partners coming together to bring it forward. And like you said, like we said with ARPA, like some of this stuff probably just wouldn't have ever gotten funded,
Right.
just with what we need to get done, and we have that limited pie of revenue that we can spend. So the Arrowhead Park will be cool for that neighborhood, or playground, that would be cool.
Yep.
All the historical building improvements. So I think it's just a cool process, and I'm excited to see what comes forward in the next cycle for them.
Absolutely. So then,
Probably just the zoning
Yeah.
was the last batch of like bigger,
right.
not bigger changes, but with the battery storage.
Yep. Again, happy all these were approved. I think we made some meaningful progressive moves when it comes to that last article, Article 54, which now provides battery storage options for both residential properties and commercial properties. So it allows us to store energy on a large scale basis in cooperation with Selco to be able to shave the peak, if nothing else, and continue to manage electric costs within the community. So store it whenever it's cheap, and put it into the grid whenever it would be more expensive to otherwise do so on those really cold winter days and really hot summer days. So that's a great initiative that also has beneficial climate effects. And then just giving businesses and residents the opportunity to maybe think differently how they provide backup power to themselves. So yeah, happy about those accomplishments. Yeah, that was
That's
town meeting. Yep, town meeting.
And that's the end of night 2.
In a nutshell. So yeah, night 2 went still
9:30.
after 9:30 or so. So we spent in total 3.5 hours the first night and 2.5 hours the second night. So 6 solid hours of town meeting, which is great.
It's only an hour more than last year.
Okay.
I think we did 5 last year.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. So that was, but we had 10 more articles.
Yep.
And CPA
that makes sense.
did get a lot of conversation, which we didn't have that opportunity to have those type of investments last year. So it does all make a lot of sense. And I think, again, turned out really well. Happy with staff performance, preparation, and pleased to get the support of town meeting members on the passage of those 54 warrant articles. So.
And now we on to the next.
That's right. So We are in the process of wrapping up. I'll just move on to another topic. Wrapping up town manager appointments and some select board appointments for the upcoming fiscal year. There's a couple cycles that folks can get used to throughout the course of the year. Kind of once a quarter or once a season. There's some board or committee that has their regular cycle that's up. So we're moving into that summer phase where the majority of the town manager appointments are open. So we are still seeking applicants for open planning board seats, open conservation commission seats,
Council on
Aging board. Yeah, just a ton of other opportunities. So you can find those on the town manager's webpage.
And off of the homepage under residents, there's a board and committee vacancy page, and people can apply. That was another thing we worked on. People can apply directly online, right off of that page through an online form. Every single vacancy we have right now is listed on that page. So it's all in one convenient location for people that want to get involved in their local government.
So please reach out, especially if you're a town meeting member and you're looking to, get more involved in a particular topic. A lot of the topics that roll up the town meeting for funding and opportunities have more, as folks know, more dedicated boards or commissions that manages those or meets monthly basis or so. So if you're looking to take the next step, it's a great opportunity to put yourself out there for a board or committee. The process, just so everyone knows, I do my best, depending on the total number of applicants and total seats available, to meet with all applicants. Oftentimes that leads to a conversation where I learn you may be interested in another board or committee, even if you're not selected for that. So just encourage folks to do that throughout the course of the year, but now is kind of the prime season to have the most opportunity.
This is the big one.
This is the big one. Yep. So, yeah.
I'll close out the fiscal year and then
That's right.
that's a wrap.
So we're moving into the end of the fiscal year, a little over a month to go. Things are shaping up very well financially with regards to the revenues that we've received. The state revenues are all on budget, and we will make sure that we do a full wrap-up of the fiscal year on an upcoming episode and start our fiscal cycle over again for the new fiscal year 24, in an upcoming episode. So
I'll get us little party hats. We have fiscal new year.
we did get some outreach from town meeting members about the town manager download after town meeting. Yep. So once Taylor catches up on her emails, she'll see that. So we did get some outreach. We really appreciate that. We got some kudos for the work of staff at town meetings. Thanks for the folks that reached out to tell us about that. We completely agree. And if ever you have ideas or topics of conversation for the show, you can reach us at tmdownload@shrewsburyma.gov. It was a pleasure to be able to recap a successful annual town meeting, our core legislative process of the year. And we'll go off and do good things with those dollars that town meeting has appropriated. If you have any questions for us, don't hesitate to reach out. On behalf of Taylor, I'm Kevin. Thanks for joining us for the Town Manager Download.